My name is Zach Terry, and I'm the operating manager at Jumpstart Foundry. And Jumpstart Foundry is a seed stage healthcare innovation fund. So we invest capital into around 20 companies every year, hoping that these healthcare companies grow and blossom and create some great returns on our investments. And as the operating manager, I do a lot of different things, but it's mostly running the internal engine for how we evaluate companies, how we get deal flow and process that deal flow, and then ultimately invest in those companies. So a lot of work with Salesforce recently. Networking, for my personal career story, I mean, I would not be in this career if it wasn't for networking. And I generally take the thesis that networking is pretty much 90% of business. If you're going to get anywhere in your career, it starts with meeting other people. So for me, yeah, I would not be here at all unless I had done some networking in college. And the easiest way to network is to network with your professors, because they already are cheering for your success. They want you to do well. And as long as you are paying attention in class and you know, doing your job as a student, they're more than happy to help you. So I would say the number one thing you should do if you're trying to start networking is to talk to your professor, especially in a class that you're really interested in and in a career that you know you want to go. If you think about your friendships and your relationships, and you can talk about Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, you know, any of these social media sites, whatever you're doing, if you don't have a real relationship and face-to-face interaction, you're not going to grow relationships with people. So LinkedIn is a great way to perhaps initiate a relationship or to reach out and say, I would love to meet you, I'd love to be connected, but ultimately when you're reaching out on LinkedIn, you need to be reaching out to get a meeting or a call, because real networking doesn't happen over a computer. It happens face to face. So yes, use LinkedIn. Make LinkedIn as fleshed out as possible. Think of it as a limitless resume. Okay, you want to put everything you can on there, but don't rely on it as your only source of networking. Make sure you're using it to go out and actually build relationships. The transition is really going to depend on what your schedule is like right now. How good is your time management now? If you are fairly good at setting your own schedule and following that schedule, showing up to class on time, doing your homework when you need to, making sure you're studying, the transition won't be that difficult. It's just going to be different. So instead of having homework to do, you're going to have assignments and tasks at work that you have to handle. And chances are people aren't going to be checking up on you all the time. You're not going to receive a grade every time you submit an assignment. Instead, you're just going to be judged on the quality of your work. So, you know, the first thing I would say is make sure you know how to manage your time. Make sure you know how to, you know, create quality work on time. But don't fear it, because it's a natural transition if you're, you know, already doing a good job at school. Some level of where you would like to be in 5 years is going to depend on your tolerance for risk. If you have a high tolerance for risk, take the jump and see what happens, because you can deal with it. If you don't have a high tolerance for risk, come up with a plan and make sure, I mean, not to say that if you do have a high tolerance for risk, you shouldn't come up with a plan, but if you for sure are not into taking risks, make sure you are keeping tabs on what you want to do and tracking where you want to be in a career. So you can look at it two ways. You can go straight after what you're most passionate about, which is big risk. Or you can find something that can support you in doing that and is something you enjoy. So what I was able to do is find something that can support my passion, but it's also something that I enjoy, with really great people that I enjoy being around. And that makes the risk a little bit easier to take.